YouTube family, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Thank y'all so much for tuning in on this particular video. If you are new here, we do a lot of car related stuff, as such as car mods as we got today. You see the box right here, so we do got a car mod we will be installing on today's video. But before we kick the video off, we got to give y'all that cold start, and I'm not going to start the car this time. Have someone else start the car. Hey, you going to start the car for me? All right, you know how to do it. Now you done this plenty of times, so here's the keys. You know to hit it twice. There we go. You like that? All right, so let's drop the intro and get the video started. Today's video is brought to you by CarLock, the world's best vehicle tracker and alert system. With CarLock, you'll be able to track your car real time, get alerts of anything suspicious happening to your car, such as your car is starting when it shouldn't be starting, any vibrations. Also, if someone decides to unplug your car lock from your car, you'll get a notification for that too. You deserve that peace of mind, and make sure you get your car lock. I do have a discount code for you guys shown on the screen right now. Get 10% off your purchase, as well as 14 days free trial with it as well with that same discount code, man. Get your car lock. You deserve that peace of mind. Let's go ahead and get it to the video.
Hi YouTube, I'm Max and we're going to today's car today.
All right guys, so you see the intro, you see I got some special help on this particular video here today. So I'm changing out my steering wheel in my car to this very nice Alcantara steering wheel that's made for Hellcats, but it's all the same stuff. So we'll be changing out to this. Of course, you can tell it is a flat bottom steering wheel. The Scatpack wide bodies do come with a flat bottom steering wheel, but we'll be changing this out from the leather one, and we're gonna get that all done today. So I'm gonna show you how to take this thing off. And I'm gonna be switching all the controls from this airbag, the cruise control stuff, all these controls, buttons, and the paddle shifters and stuff will be swapped over to this steering wheel here. So I'm gonna walk you through that whole process and whatnot. But before we do that, you can see I already got all my windows down and the trunk open, because the first thing that we're going to be doing is unplugging the battery, because I am not going to be messing with a airbag that has power under it. So we're gonna unplug the battery first, and we're gonna start working on getting this steering wheel removed. All right, so first part, this is the easy part, the easiest part of this video. Of course, you need to use this to get your battery unplugged and kill the power on it. So this is just nothing much but a 10mm socket, kill the power on it, because you do not want to be working with the airbag that's under power. All right, so we killed the power in the car, pulled the negative battery cable loose from that, so no power in the car. So the next thing we want to do here to get this steering wheel off, there are two holes on the bottom here, gain access to pop the airbag part off. Screwdriver here to get in here to pop this off. So some people got off quick, some people didn't. So hopefully we don't spend too much time on that. We're gonna use this thing here. We're gonna run it right in here. All right guys, so for y'all it's only been a couple of seconds. I've been out here for a good 30-40 minutes. Now I got one side off. It's hard to get to this little spring thing that you have to hit to release the airbag. So I done switched. I'm gonna show y'all what I use, man. I'm gonna show you everything I use. I done used all of these different tools to try to get back there. So far I done had the most success with this thing here. It's a little spring thing that you're trying to feel for. And I've looked online hundreds of times, even before this, to try to figure out exactly what it looks like. And no one's really described. They say feel for a spring type of thing and release it from there. So I luckily got one side, and once I get this other side, I'll be good to go. I think this is the hardest part of doing a steering wheel swap or removing the airbag or anything of that nature. Anything that revolves removing this airbag, this is the hardest part to do. So yeah, so once I do it on this side, we'll be good to go. This other side is out. Like I said, there's two little holes here on the driver's side and passenger side of the steering, behind this steering wheel that you got to get in and find that spring. So once you get it, you'll be fine. And I'm trying to describe it the best way I can, but you're just really feeling for a spring, which is hard to feel for. So next time you see this video, I will have this off. All right, guys, after 45 minutes of fighting with this thing, I finally got it off, and you see we have the airbag off of this particular car. Now, the best tool to use was this. All right, guys, so the next step of getting this steering wheel off here, I'm gonna show you what you got. You got three things you gotta take off here. So we got this black clip here you gotta take off, this little white plug here, and then after you get that off, then you're gonna get this center nut off. Once you get this center nut off, this whole steering wheel will be able to come out, and then you can start swapping your pieces over from that point. And just in case you need to know what you need to take this center bolt off, you'll need a, if it focuses, you'll need a hex 10 here that will be able to take this center thing off. Now, it is pretty tight if you've never done this before, so make sure you're gonna be ready for that part. All right, guys, I feel like I had to go straight Hulk strength to get this thing out. So as I was trying to get this bolt out, my steering wheel kept turning, so I really had to muscle this thing really hard to get it out. But we got it out, everything's unplugged, so now the successful part is the wheel finally comes off. And when it comes off here, your plugs will come out of this part right here, and there you go. So now we're gonna do the process of getting all of our internal things, controls, paddle shifters, getting all that stuff transferred over to the new wheel.
I got the wheel off.
You feel like a race car driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do? How big, is it heavy?
Yes. Yes.
It's really heavy?
Yeah.
All right, you wanna do me a favor?
Yeah.
All right, let's put the wheel on the table so we can show the rest of the video.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna put the wheel on the table right there, and now we're gonna get the other steering wheel. So grab the other steering wheel right there. Grab that one for me. Can you get it? All right, now put this one, put it on the table right beside the other wheel. All right, can you say Alcantara?
Alcantara.
And can you say leather?
Leather.
All right, that's my helper for today. All right, now we got both wheels out sitting on the table here. So now it's time to pull everything out the center of this thing and move it over here. So one of the first things that's easy to get out is a little counterweight thing that really just pops down here to the bottom. You can see if you look on it, it says 5764 SRT, all that type of stuff. And this thing just really just pops in kind of at the bottom there. And that's gonna be easy. Everything else, we gotta get these paddle shifters off. We gotta, well, I said paddle shifters off, these buttons off, and that should be pretty much it. Now, the only thing here that I did notice was different, this one has this plug here on it, and my current steering wheel does not. That I'm not sure it's for the heated steering wheel option or not. We'll see once we get everything buttoned up, but to be honest, even with it being cold, I've never used the heated steering wheel. To be honest, I don't like the feeling of the heated steering wheel. That's just me. It just feels weird to me, but whatever, we'll see where that goes to. And after that, we should be able just to reverse and put everything back on. All right, you got the steering wheel flipped over here. So this is what you gotta do to get the paddle shifters off and get those side controls off here. So pretty much these plastic panels that are on the side right here, you just use a flathead or something to pop those out, and it will expose those screws on each side here. That would allow you to get these side things off for your buttons, for your radio controls and all that. And of course, you're definitely gonna need your paddle shifters. Once you get the paddle shifters off here, you can see there's a screw here that allows the paddle shifter module to come out, and right behind there is another screw here. This screw here will allow you to take off, if you flip the wheel over, to take off these front buttons here. Then once you get that off, you'll be able to feed the wires through and pull those out. All right, guys, so I've been working on this on and off all day. So this is pretty much what you have to do here to get this thing fully stripped. Of course, you try to take your buttons off on the side here, and you have to take your paddle shifters off here. So pretty much there's a cover on the back that you need to pop off. You pop the cover off, you get the first screw out to get the paddle shifter out. Once you get the paddle shifter out, there's another screw here that when you flip over, that will allow you to get this set of buttons off, and then you pretty much would just have to undo all of the wiring and unplug everything from in here. Now, what you will also need to do when you transfer everything to the new wheel, this whole wire loom here will need to get transferred to the other wheel. Now, with the Hellcat wheel, it's a different connector here, so I'm thinking it looks like we would lose the heated steering wheel option, because your heated steering wheel option is down here, what plugs into the bottom of the wheel. I need to show you how to get that off. But the Hellcat one has a different shape one. So this wire loom all comes out for your paddle shifters and buttons. And this plastic piece up here that kind of holds everything in, that kind of pops out as well. So for this bottom plastic part that you have to get off, there are 3 screws on the back. You take those screws out, you pop the back panel off, and this front panel is a little weird to get off. I'm gonna get y'all, it's a little weird to get off. So you have to kind of do it at an angle to get this front panel off here so you can have access to the full wire loom. Once you have access to full wire loom, you kind of disconnect it down here from the bottom, and you'll be able to pull the full wire out, because you're gonna need that for your other steering wheel. So now I'm just gonna show you how to put everything in a new wheel. All right, guys, now it is time to transfer all my pieces over to the Hellcat wheel, the Alcantara Hellcat wheel here. So there's a couple things, I hope that doesn't fall. So there's a couple things that I've learned through this process. And now this is not a straightforward swap, unfortunately. First thing, this little plastic piece here that's in the Scatpack wheel that's at the top, this is the thing that kind of holds the wire down. This does not go into the Hellcat wheel. There's no place for it, and it has like the little screw holes for your side buttons. Let's see if I can get y'all in focus here. This will not go into the Hellcat wheel. Actually, I'm gonna got it upside down. It goes into the Scatpack wheel like that, and the little holes there is where the bracket bolts down and where the buttons on the side screw into. So this will not go into the Hellcat wheel, so you won't be reusing this. And another thing that I noticed that is a pain. So you see here is these Scatpack buttons here. You see this little thing right here. So when you go to put this down in here, the biggest issue, and I hope you can see it here, that little item right there does not allow you to seat this thing fully in. You see it's kind of bulging up and stuff of that nature. So unfortunately, you have to do some modifications. So what you would have to do is, and I've already done it with this one, you'll have to kind of grind that down and snip it down to put these buttons there so it can fit in there flush like it is. Now I tested this with just one screw in here and it holds it down just fine, so we're gonna be good there. And that's what you have to do there. So it's kind of unfortunate you gotta do it, but you gotta do it. You won't see it or notice it or anything like that. Also, last thing as well, I was talking about the heating thing. So if you see on the bottom of these wires, the 2 wires, let me actually do it like this. These 2 wires right here at the bottom of this wire loom, these go to the heating element in the Scatpack wheel. The Hellcat wheel has a different connector, which is this connector. You have 1 big connector, 2 small connectors. Doesn't take a genius to know that these do not fit into that. So because of that, you will lose your heated wheel function with this particular steering wheel if you're doing this swap from the Scatpack to the Hellcat wheel. It's just the nature of the thing. I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm not saying that because I'm gonna lose it. I've never used the heating steering wheel function on my Scatpack wheel because my car is usually in the garage for the most part, and if it's outside, it doesn't get cold enough, quick enough for me to have to warrant using it. But that's what you got to do to make these buttons work. It's not a straightforward swap in some cases. For some reason, the Hellcat buttons are different from the Scatpack buttons, as far as what's the bracket on it, and also the inside of the steering wheel is different from the Scatpack. Not sure why. They're the same doggone car, but it's different. So I'm going to put everything back in here, and I'm gonna show you how everything looks when we get it buttoned up. All right, guys, we have literally been working on this all day, off and on. So you can see the sun is setting now. Yeah, I remember I started, it was morning time, but we got everything done. So everything is now in the steering wheel here, buttons, paddle shifters, everything is on this one now. And this is the original Widebody Scat wheel with the flat bottom there. So now all we have to do is take this wheel, go ahead and throw it into the car, get everything plugged up, put the bolt in there, and then we'll go for a test drive to make sure everything still works on it, because it'll be pretty bad that if the paddle shifters, the buttons and the stuff don't work on the wheel. So we'll go ahead and get that done. Pretty simple process when you do it. All right, guys, so we're finally finished. You can see the sun is set. We've been out here all day, off and on. You can see all the tools and whatnot. But we finally had the wheel in, and we had to add our special touch right there, the carbon fiber from Dyna Performance. Shout out to them for getting me that. So we have the wheel fully in, and I like the look of it. Let me step back here for you. And that is the wheel there. So you see how it looks in the car. Definitely like the more of the real flat bottom that's on the wheel and the feel of the Alcantara on here. So next thing I'm gonna do is just go for a quick drive. Want to make sure everything still works on the car, because it would be a shame for me to sit here and have done this whole thing and it didn't work. So first thing works, the horn works, so we're good there. So at least we're on the right track. But want to make sure everything fully works. So let's go to that quick drive. All right, guys. So I just took a drive with the car. Want to make sure everything was good with the wheel. Paddle shifters work. The buttons seem to be working. All of that. Now, as far as doing this swap, it's definitely not a quick swap. It's definitely time consuming to swap the wheel out. It's not a direct swap, which makes it harder than it needs to be. I would honestly just pay someone else to do it at this point if I knew some of the issues I'm gonna run into. But nonetheless, so far I like the look of the wheel. Just a couple things I need to adjust on it, and I may get someone else to adjust it and see if they can do it. But that's it. That's my feelings on it. I still like the look of it. And yeah, man, if you got any questions or anything I didn't cover in the video, feel free to drop a comment below. I'll make sure to get back to you and answer your question. But I'm not going to wrap up this video. I'm going to have someone else wrap up the video for me.
Oh man, this is a very hard job. Thanks for watching our channel, and please subscribe. Bye.